Good up, good afternoon. Are you able to see my screen? Hello. Okay, good. Okay, okay. So, yesterday we were discussing about QTP checkpoints. So checkpoint is nothing but like a verification point. So when you will go for checkpoints is whenever you have the situation like at a specific point of time whether your application is working properly or not. So that is what you have to make sure means you will go for checkpoints. Checkpoints also you can consider like verification points. So in your QTP there are so many checkpoints you will come across and may get a chance to use in your real time. Those are nothing but like standard checkpoint, bitmap checkpoint, image checkpoint, then database checkpoint, text area checkpoint. Then another thing is XML checkpoints, even accessibility table checkpoints. So these are the different checkpoints you will come across. But in all those one, mostly you will use standard checkpoint. Then you will go for database checkpoint, and even you may get a chance to go for table checkpoint. Okay, means behavior of the object at a specific point of time. Mostly you will be validating properties of the objects. So that is what we discussed yesterday. So then our next topic is output points. Once we done with like output points, then we go for like synchronization points. So before moving those topics, anybody having any questions? Okay, so no questions means what I'm doing is like I'm trying to mute. Whenever you have questions, you just message me. I will unmute so that we'll discuss. Line is so clear today, so we don't want to mute. Okay, so whenever you have questions, you just ask me immediately. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing about uh, whenever at a specific point of time your application behavior is changing. How you go for depends on your requirement. So you will insert your checkpoint. But let us suppose for most of the applications for Gmail you may not see this behavior, but you're working for real-time application means you may be able to see like excuse me, as soon as you launch your Gmail login, initially sign in button should be disabled. Okay, in your real-time application. So as soon as you launch any of the application, sign in button should be disabled. Once you enter username, even your sign in button should be in disable mode. Once you enter both username and password, then only get enabled. Okay, here sign in button enable or disable. So the purpose will be always constant. At a specific point of time, the behavior of the object is constant. That means like stable functionality, right? So whenever you launch the application, sign in button should be in disable mode. Always. How many times you launch? But some situations, like if you take as soon as you join any of the company, what company needs to be done? They have to create your employee ID, your employee record, right? So that is the scenario if you take like okay, so there are two modules, let us suppose registration module and search module. Registration and search module. Okay, so if we go for like registration, during registration what you will be doing is like you will be entering first name, last name, middle name, age, date of birth, something like that. As soon as you click on submit button, employee ID gets generated. This employee ID you have to capture dynamically and carry forward to another module like search module. There you have to enter this employee id and validate. So whatever the data you were entered during registration is displaying properly or not in your search module. Registration is one module, search is another module. During registration module, you're trying to register a specific employee ID. During such module, so you are validating. This is the scenario, let us suppose. So my point here is during registration, whenever you register the employee ID, okay, so gets generate every time new for each and every employee, new employee ID gets generated. That is the reason you have to handle this situation dynamically. You should handle the situation dynamically. So how will you handle? What is the situation? If it is stable functionality, you can go for standard or checkpoints. But here at this point of time, the object properties frequently, not frequent, every time getting changing. So at this point of time, you can go for like output checkpoint. Okay. So at this point of time, you can go for like output checkpoint. The output checkpoint is nothing but like you can output property of a particular object and carry forward to another place in your script. That means like you are capturing property of a particular object for future reference purpose. That is nothing but like your output part. Okay, that is nothing but like your output part. So property of a particular object you will capture dynamically and store it to somewhere for your future reference purpose. So that is nothing but like your checkpoint, sorry, output point. Okay, so even another scenario, if you take like whenever you register in any of the application initially, you take like Gmail. So for each and every user, different email id gets generated. Okay, even that is also situation you have to validate. This is a kind of scenario means you can go for output point. Okay, so that is what I have to go for means like hmm, okay, okay, this is the value is frequently getting changing. Let us suppose this is the one you have to let us assume. Okay, so we'll try to go for I never tried to be honest, this is what my first time. So like that specific value is frequently changing, let us assume. So you want to capture that is the one. So how you go for is like output value, here you are saying right. Okay, so output value, standard output value I'm going for. Web element is taken. Remember in your application, whatever the object QTP identifying it as like web element, it will create trouble. Okay, so how to handle, how to resolve those issues, I will tell you later point of time. So as of now, you just remember. So the thing is like here the property value is sorry, object QTP identifying it as like web element. So I cannot go at this point of time with like output point. So let us suppose for every employee username and password will be different, right? So that is what you have to capture. So how you will capture? So record insert checkpoint, sorry, output point, standard output point. So which object property is frequently changing? Get it? Okay, so Which property you have to output? Value. Where you have to output? So modify. You click at modify button. Once you click on modify, then data table or environment variable also you can output. For time being, what I do is like data table out. I will output. In future, I will tell you like how to output even environment parameter. Okay. So whenever you go for like data table, you will be able to see two sheets, global and local. So what is the purpose of global and what is the purpose of local? I will be explaining you later. Now I'm outputting it to like global sheet. Even you want to give name of that parameter, means like username or whatever the name you feel comfortable, you can give it. So it will go on output to that variable. So view data table, if I go see in global sheet, that is what it was generated. Okay, see column is generated. Right. So that is how you can go for like your inserting your data as like output point. Exactly like that, you want to output for link. Let us suppose is considering it as like link. Go just output value, standard output value. This is the one. Let us suppose this is one every time is getting changed. Okay, so that is the one I'm taking. So where you have to output, what is the value you have to output? Okay, text, right? Or inner text, outer text, something like that, whatever you feel comfortable, you have to give it. Then where you have to output, so link and name you can give like what this is, new features, right? New features, that is what I'm doing. Okay, see as soon as I click, it was generated. That's why. That is the way. See here I'm giving like Joseph. Okay, so you have to capture value from your data table. So what you have to do is like data table dot value, and what is the parameter you have to read, and what is the sheet. Okay, so there are so many operations you will come up with like your data table. But in our syllabus, if you remember, like I have mentioned one topic like utility objects. So under utility objects you will get up like one concept that is nothing but data table. So at that time I will be explaining in detail about like your data table. So as of now you remember this is the one. So during runtime you have to capture, means you just execute. So you have to capture data from your data table, means data table dot value, what is the column and what is the sheet. Okay, see first one you have given Joseph, then why uh, sorry, that mm, parameter is not available. Now what I do is like Rama. Okay, see now is displaying Rama. Okay, that is what you want, right? So like that. Okay, so another example is like once you log in your Gmail application. Okay, here name will be different for everybody, right? But I think if it is like it will identify a web element. So if it's identify web element, definitely you cannot create, it will get trouble. But how you resolve, I will explain you later. As of now, you just remember this is the one. This is nothing but like your output point. Exactly like that. Which are the output points will come? There are so many output values you will come up with. Everyone you can try it out. The purpose is same like text checkpoint, text area output, database, XML, XML. Okay. So this is nothing but like your output points. In real time, this concept is very powerful, but output points you don't use. Okay. In real time, this is very powerful concept for handling dynamic objects. But remember, this concept output values we don't use in real time. Okay. But there are so many other ways to handle this dynamic objects. That is what whenever the situation comes out, at the time I will explain. So this is nothing but like your output points. Any questions before going like synchronization points? Anybody? Any questions? Okay. Then we go for like okay. Then we go for like synchronization points. Okay. So yesterday you could have observed like uh, whenever you record and try executing, your execution will be very fast, right? How much fast it is? It's too much fast. Even you don't see like each and every operation what your QTP is doing. That much fast really. But you think real world, your application will it be that much fast always? Not right. It depends on your network. If network is slow, your application may take longer than as usual. At that time, there are chances to get fail your script, right? Okay. So normally while executing QTP may take less than 1 second, but your application always may not execute, may not load that much fast. At that point of situations like your QTP may make some steps fail, but that is not really your application issue. That is nothing but like, so how do you handle this kind of situations? With the help of synchronization points. Okay. So your application is taking some time. What you do is like you will instruct your QTP tool wait till application loads. Okay. So we are instructing both application and tool like run with the same fast. That is nothing but like your synchronization points. Another important thing you have to remember during synchronization points is like if you go for recording modes, three recording modes really available, but in real time you never use. Checkpoints we were discussed around 10, but mostly you will be using standard checkpoint. Like that, every feature you may not use full-fledged. But remember, in real time, synchronization points, how many ways we are discussing. Every way, definitely 100% you'll get a chance to use some point of time. Okay, another important thing you remember like you were generated your test script. Okay, excuse me. So you were run for three releases successfully, like release 400, 500, 600. The script whatever you have generated is worked fine in these three releases, but release 700 you are trying to execute, but it was not executing. What might be the reason? Like that, even this is very good into question, very important into question. So whenever you remember like sometimes your script is executing but unexpectedly once it's not executing in your latest build or latest application, immediately you have to get in mind like either of object identification issues or synchronization issues. Object identification issues means developer could have changed object description, object properties. That may be the reason. Another reason is like maybe synchronization point. Once your script is getting passed, next time your script is failing. The reason might be either of these two. Okay, so that is what slowly you will get to learn everything. So as of now you remember this level. So with the help of synchronization points, what you are doing is like you are instructing your QTP tool wait until application loads that page. So that is nothing but like your synchronization point. There are so many ways you can insert your synchronization points. So first approach is like wait. First way is wait. Okay, so okay, here if you observe like as soon as you click on sign in button, it's taking some time for loading your application. So that is a good time to insert as a synchronization point. So what you can do is like wait 2 seconds. That means what it does is like your QTP tool try to wait 2 seconds for loading that page. Okay, it's very simple how much time you are mentioning in seconds. That is what you have to remember. Wait after whatever the number you are mentioning, that is nothing but like your time in seconds. That much time your QTP tool waits. Okay, that means like you are giving 10 seconds, your QTP tool try to wait 10 seconds. Okay, so the good thing here is like if you are aware of how much time is taking at a specific point of, that means at a specific functionality, so you can mention that much time. Okay, that is the advantage of like your wait statement. But the real time scenario if you take, especially login, once you enter correct username, correct password, click on sign in button, sometimes it may take 10 seconds, sometimes it may take 2 seconds, sometimes it may take 3 minutes, right? But during our automation introduction class I could have told you like okay, so uh, login what you do is like you can insert it in 1,000 scripts, right? So each and every script you have to make it independent means you may get a chance to make it as a login as reusable action or function and insert it into your 1,000 scripts. If this is the situation if we go, so what is the worst case means at worst point of time what is the maximum time is taking. So let us suppose your application is taking 2 minutes. At the time worst case you have to consider and give here like 120 seconds. Okay, so you are inserted like this, let us suppose. Next, whenever you put for night execution, it's not going to take always 120 seconds, right? So as I said, wait 120 seconds. If you give, it will try to wait always 120 seconds, stable amount of time. So my point here is like while you are putting for night execution, it's not taking always like 120 seconds. Sometimes it may take 2 seconds, sometimes it may take 30 seconds, sometimes it may take 40 seconds. Even at that point of time it will try to wait 120 seconds. Your application is taking 3 seconds, but still it will try to wait 120 seconds. That means like how much time you are wasting here? You are wasting too much time, right? So that is the drawback of your wait statement. So that is the reason in real time you're implementing good framework means it's not supposed to use like wait statement. Okay, it's not advisable to go for like wait statement. Even you are starting up with automation framework means before starting up automation you will come up with like some standards, you will define some standards. So those standards you will measure one point like you should not use wait. But very rarely if you get a chance to go for using wait statement means just 1 second or 2 seconds. More than that you should not use wait statement in your script. Okay, that is one important point you have to remember. Okay, so this is nothing but like your little bit brief description about like your wait statement. But how to resolve this issue? So there are so many ways to resolve this issue. So another way of inserting your synchronization point is like insert synchronization point. Okay, so record in synchronization point is grayed out, right? Okay, disabled. So why means your qtp tool should be in record mode, then only it will get enabled. See, synchronization point now it's enabled. So synchronization point uh, okay, where is qtp? Okay, so this application if you take in this page, as soon as you enter correct username correct password, click on sign in button. Okay, so this page will get navigated. How do you make sure this page navigated or not? By referring some object like Google. This image if you take, it will get display always, right? It will get display always. So you can choose it this one or this one or inbox or compose mail button, start import, anything, any one object. Which one? It will display always. That is the object you can choose. Okay, so the best option here is like if you go for inbox, if you go for compose mail, the problem is qtp try identify compose as a web element, sorry, web element. As I said couple of times, so whatever the object qtp identify into like web element, it will get trouble. Okay, so that is what I will tell you how you go for inbox, how it will identify it like link. But the problem with inbox is like the value whatever you are getting displayed, that value may get vary, right? So that's why that is the trouble with your like inbox. So start or importance or something like that you can go. So I'm going for like inserting start. So qtp got hangout. This is a casual problem, even in your real time you will face. You have to get adjust, no other option. Okay, are you able to hear me? Hello, hello. Okay, okay. I'm just checking even go to meeting also hangout. Okay, it's not hanged. Okay. Uh, uh, even task manager also I'm not getting. Hmm. Okay. So what I do is like see these are the problems very usual you will get up, but you have to bear. Okay. So what to do is like I will go and you restore your window, then insert synchronization point. This is the option you go for. Okay, so which object you have to. Okay, now you got it immediately, you see. Okay, so this is what how you get understand means like defense and practice. Tomorrow whenever you are practicing you face issues means what you do is like you keep my video one side, step by step. Wherever you are getting issue you go and step by step you see in my recorded session. That is the best way to resolve in your during practicing. Okay, so that is what remember. So here I have taken like a start one link till that link exists, you wait. That is what we are instructing to your QTP2. So here you are getting like so many properties. So which property you have to say? Till it gets visible. Till it gets visible, you have to wait. Okay. So visible 0 means what does it mean? Visible 0 means what does it mean? Invisible, right? So except 0, any value you can give like 1 to something like that. 1 always best option. Okay, this is what in milliseconds. Maximum 2 minutes. 20,000 seconds means 2 minutes, I believe. Okay, so excuse me. So why you have to give like maximum 2 minutes? Let us assume there is a defect in your application. Then your QTP tool never get terminate, right? Even days also it will wait. So you have to think about like negative scenario also, and you have to automate your test script accordingly, right? So to handle this kind of situations, what you do is like maximum synchronization time, what you are mentioning here. So your application is loading within 2 seconds. It will wait for 2 seconds, immediately go for next step. Your application is taking 20 seconds. It will wait for 20 seconds and go immediately next step. Maximum it will take to wait 2 minutes. If your application launches in 2 minutes, it will try to wait 2 minutes and go further. It's taking 2 minutes, 1 second, let us assume. It doesn't wait, it will go further immediately. It will make the step fail and go further. That is the advantage of like you are giving maximum time. So this is how you can insert your synchronization timer. So whenever you insert wait property, okay, wait property visible 1 2000 20,000 milliseconds, that is what it means. Okay, so this is nothing but like insert synchronization point. So this is the best way you use in your real time. Okay, so this is the best way you use in real time. So this is another way of inserting your synchronization point, like okay, insert synchronization point. Okay, another way of inserting synchronization point is like okay, specific page you are inserted your synchronization point, that page loaded. That page loaded means, are you sure like whole objects got loaded into that page? Sometimes it may not happen, right? So that page, some object, it may take longer time. How do you make sure like all the objects in that page loaded? So another way, so if that is the situation, like specific object got loaded or not, okay? So at that point of time, what you can do is like if dot exist. Okay, before that, another way of inserting your checkpoint is like page. You go for like page exist. Okay, if that page, another way of inserting your checkpoint is like whether that specific page loaded or not. If that page loaded, then you can go for like inserting. You can go further for executing. Okay, so this is another way of inserting your checkpoint. So browser dot page dot exist. What it do? If that page doesn't exist, it will try to wait until that page loads. If it's taking 2 seconds, it will try to wait for 2 seconds. It's taking 20 seconds, it will try to wait for 20 seconds. Okay, that is what it does. Okay, as I said, like that is fine. That page loaded. You cannot make sure like some of the objects may not be loaded in that page. So that kind of situation, how you handle it like okay, dot exist. That is a specific object. Okay, this is the way you can go. Okay, so this is another way of inserting your synchronization point. Another way is like browser dot page dot sync sync. Okay, that one by default some situations your qtp tool automatically insert that statement while recording your application is taking some time, so your qtp automatically inserts. Sometimes you may observe. So that sync also another way of inserting your synchronization point. So remember, excuse me, dot sync is applicable only for either browser or page. Browser you are getting sync method even for page also. Okay, but you don't get for object. See, yes, why I'm giving, you are not getting. So that is the option only for browser and page only. Another way of inserting your synchronization point is like within parentheses you give maximum timeout. What it does, it will try to wait that much time. Okay, that is also another way of inserting your synchronization point. So another way is like once you go for quick test professional sample applications. Okay, okay, as soon as you enter OK button is immediately giving you like this pop-up. But sometimes what will happen is like it may not happen, it may take longer time. At that time you have to wait till this pop-up exists, right? So at that point of time you can go for like okay, this is the one. Okay, so till pop-up exists, another way of inserting your synchronization point. Okay, another thing is like file settings. If you go for so run run tab, if you go here you're seeing like 20 seconds. If you observe like while in yesterday's session if any of the step not executed, it's trying to wait some time. Why? Because of this is the reason. So while executing qtp unable to perform specific step, what it does, it will try to wait default synchronization timeout whatever you have in your settings window. Remember, this is for like your standalone application, and if you go for like your web-based application, this is the one. Standalone application means it will try to wait maximum 20 seconds if specific step fails, unable to execute. Or if it is web-based application, it will try to go for waiting 60 seconds. Okay. So another way of inserting synchronization point is like while inserting checkpoint, you go for record F12 for shortcut key for inserting your checkpoint. Okay, so here if you remember like what is the enabled, I'm checking, let us know. Okay, these are the properties. You're getting like some time, right? So within that point of time it was not enabled. What you have to do, you have to wait some time, right? So like 20 seconds or 30 seconds. Even while inserting checkpoint also you can go and give your time, so how much time you want to wait. Okay, this is another way of inserting your synchronization pointer. And one more way also there, one more way also there, that is nothing but like your do until exist. Another way is through scripting. Okay, so if pop-up does not exist, wait for 2 seconds. Does not exist, wait 2 seconds. Okay, so this is another way of inserting synchronization, but the thing here is like, in case there is a defect in your application, this pop-up never get displayed, right? So what it does, it will go like infinite kind of loop. So even that is also you have to handle, means like I equal to 0. Okay, so I equal to I plus 1 until exist, or I equal to 60. In either of the case, that means 60 means 2 minutes, right? 60 into 2, 2 minutes. 120 seconds, 120 seconds means 2 minutes. So it will try to wait maximum 60 iterations. When I reached, if, okay, and in case it does not exist, only it will try to wait. Okay, so this is another way of inserting your synchronization point. It will wait, R means true, either of the way. So this is what you have confusion, means how to use if do this kind. I will be explaining you during your VB scripting basics. These are the different ways you can insert your synchronization points. Wait, insert synchronization point till page loads, till object loads, till object gets enabled. Okay, till pop-up exists. Dot sync in parentheses milliseconds file settings till progress bar reaches 100%. That is also another way of inserting your synchronization point. While inserting checkpoints through scripting, these are the different ways you can insert your synchronization points. And remember, important thing is like every option whatever we discussed, you'll definitely get a chance to go and use in your real time at a specific point of time. Any questions? Yeah, 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 that is also synchronization. Yeah, yeah, that is also synchronization. Okay, yeah, good point, very good point. Okay, yeah, any more questions? Exactly, synchronization point both. Okay, any more questions? Okay, so what about this weekend, Friday, I mean like Sunday? We meet or we don't meet? It's your yeah, we'll meet, right? You don't want, we'll meet. Okay, so then which what time we'll meet? 7:30 or 7 o'clock? How it is? Anytime for me comfortable. Yeah, we'll make it 7 o'clock then. Okay, 7. Okay, okay, that's fine. Thank you so much for your time. If nobody have questions, means we'll end the session. Have a good weekend. Okay, bye.